Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, readers of all persuasions. It is I, Gayla, and welcome back to Book Uncorked and Caffeinated. And today I want to talk about my TBR, Not TBR. So for the last few months, actually 6 months, I've been making these TBRs, right? And I have all these books that I want to prioritize and things of that nature. And so I made a video about how many of those books did I actually read, and it was only 4 of them. And I did start this series by saying I am a mood reader, and last month I really noticed I am a mood reader. And sometimes I'm reading all the books that I have bought or buy new books and read them in the moment, but my TBRs are like my ambitions and my goals, but not necessarily things that go with my mood. So today I'm going to talk about the 13 books I am really going to prioritize during the summer. So what I mean by that is, this is going to be the summer TBR for July and August and seeping into September. And based on my mood, I will read from this list. Not saying I'm not going to read any other books, but I'm going to prioritize this book list of 13. Not saying I'm not going to read other books, because there are other books I'm reading right now, because there are videos I'm going to be doing based on those books. But in general, for the summer, my TBR consists of these 13 books. So let's get started. So the first 3 are by one particular author, Lauren Lacey. I did a video a couple of weeks back, author highlight, and she was my author highlight, Lauren Lacey. And so I will be reading 3 of her novellas. I think these are perfect for the summertime. I often go to the pool where I live, so I think these would be like, I can read these like while I'm at the pool. This is like 130 pages. So the first one, The Break She Needed, which I think so talks about my life without talking about my life. The Family She Found, and The Forever She Deserves. So today it's raining in New York, and so probably by Wednesday I would say the weather would be nice enough to go sit by the pool. So I will be prioritizing these books this week. The next book I'm going to prioritize is a book that is suggested by my subscribers. So I think it was the last video I did. I talked about, I said a few books that I had bought, some books that were on my radar, new books and things of that nature. And I said, drop in the chat, which book did you want me to read out of the books that I wanted to read? And a couple of people, it was a toss-up, but this is the one that won, Galen by Walter Mosley. And even my brother texted me on the side after reading, watching the video, suggested this book as well. And him and I are probably going to do like a buddy read on this. So Galen would be my book that I would read from my subscribers suggested me to read this first, to prioritize this. Then the next 2 books are probably the 2 books I'm going to physically take on my vacation. I know some people take books, some people don't take books. They take their Kindles, like, why take a book? They take up room, woo, woo, woo. Well, where I'm going, it takes me 2 days to get there. I'm leaving on the 26th, and I don't get there till the 28th. I think taking these 2 books will be okay. I'm gonna take my Kindle too, but I think taking these 2 books is gonna be okay, and they're like summer reads. So the first one is The Summer Girlfriend by Christina Forrest, and The Art of Loving You from the Fallen series from Natasha Bishop. So these are gonna be my travel reads. So I'm probably gonna read one on the way there and on the way back. The next book that I would like to read is Struck Speechless by Tati Richardson. I like her books. Her first book, not the first book I read by her, but her first book in this series was Losing Sight. I love it. These stories are, or these novels are about middle-aged women and men in their relationship, and I love it because it comes from a middle-aged perspective. So I definitely want to get into this sooner than later. This book I bought a couple of months. I bought when it came out, and I've been dying to get into it, and so I'm like, I am going to make this a priority. The 7 Daughters of Dupree. And this is a fairly new, I'm sorry, I didn't say The 7 Daughters of Dupree's author, Nikisha Ellis Williams. Sorry about that, so you can know who she is. Also, Leave Your Mess at Home, Talani Akinola. I'm sorry, I probably butchered her name. Leave Your Mess at Home. Look at that cover. That's awesome. So new author to me, and I'm looking forward to reading this. And then my last 4 books, Tahari Jones, Ken. Everyone has been giving this rave reviews. She wrote American Marriage. I read that a few years ago with a book club. I probably need to read it again. I do remember a lot of it, but I would like to read it again. But I definitely want to read Ken. This next book is what New York City Public Libraries are reading. And I said I was going to read it like 2 TBR lists ago. The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. And then the last 2 books are a part of the New Haven series by J.L. Seegers. I'm currently reading Revive Me Part 1, The Apology. And so I'm going to follow that up with Revive Me Part 2, The Affair, which is a little, I probably can do that in a sitting or a sitting and a half, depending on how much I want to concentrate. Yeah, it's like 215 pages. And then the last one that's currently out is Revive Me Part 3, The Apology. I think I did that wrong then. So Revive Me Part 1 is The Act, sorry. That's what I'm currently reading. I probably will finish that tonight. Then I'm going to follow that up with Revive Me Part 2. And then Revive Me Part 3. And so the other 2 that rounds up the series, that makes it 6 books, is going to be out by end of year. So those are the books that I'm going to prioritize for the summer. So I'm not saying I'm reading these all in July, all of August, going into September. What I'm saying is this is the list I'm going to be pulling from to make sure that I'm reading the books. The video before this video, I had purchased, well, I'm not going to say it. You got to watch the video. So there's a video before this video. It's a book haul. And I booked and hauled all the books. So I want to make these books a priority because they have been on the list. They've been on other lists. And I'm listing it out. So yeah, that is my TBR, no TBR. What's to read? That is the question. And so we're going to see by the end of the summer. I'm going to make sure that I keep this video, and then when I post my end of the summer video, how many of these books I read. So like I said, it was 13. So let's kind of get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I think realistically this week I can read these 3 and begin this one, because I'm going to finish the one before it tonight. So let's see how that rolls. And I'll be giving an update week to week. So you'll get the first update from my last video tomorrow on the 7th. So every 7 days, I'm going to update you on what I've been reading. So this should be an interesting journey. So this is my TBR for the summer. Yeah, I'm not going to even ask you to drop a book. Well, drop a book stack today. And maybe suggest one of the books that you will read. Well, don't suggest that you will read it. Don't suggest it to me because I'm going to read it. Pick one of the books. Rewind. Let's start over. Drop in the chat a book stack and say which one of these books that you will read, because I'm going to read them, but which one would you choose to read out of this stack? And then do all the other things, like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next video. Deuces. Bye.